Defend yourself!
You'll find little welcome here, Jedi. For your own good, I recommend you speak to...
Hello there. You haven't had any new troubles, I hope? I'm not the one to talk to. You should see Administrator Adare about that. We should probably talk about something else. I hate going behind the captain's back. All right, stay out of trouble now.
I hope that you haven't run into any difficulties you couldn't deal with. Is there anything else I can assist you with? What have you learned, Jedi? I hope that you have... Is there... I have no doubt that Barun means well, but I have every confidence in Zeron. I would ask you to ignore anything Barun asked of you. He doesn't see the full scope. I realize that I'm asking you for help, but you must also know that I am the head of this nominal government. It wouldn't be appropriate for me to divulge all information to you. What have you learned? I hope... Is there... Like many parts of Dantooine, the sub-level of the Enclave has become infested with... Several cell... Is there anything else?
Any luck on getting my modulator back from Joran? I don't think anyone here will be able to help me. Excellent. How did you deal with Joran? It has to be someone near their camp, and no one else lives around them. You might be right, but I doubt it. Are they turning on their own? Typical. That's about all I know. I've never seen the thief clearly. Do you have any idea who it is? Really? So it isn't a salvager. Well, the war affected different people different ways. Is she gonna be all right? I guess I had it all wrong. I thought those salvagers were to blame. Look, if you see her again, tell her maybe we can work something out. I need help on my farm. She's already shown she knows something about farming equipment. I know a lot of people that need a second chance right about now. Here's your reward. Finally, I can get back to work.
It's you again. Well, you know who I am. I figure you've got a reason for coming back. You want something? I'll tell you what I tell all those grubby salvagers. No body, no claim. I'm no longer even looking at wills or credit notes, and if you think that's gruesome, then go space yourself. Let me see the will. I'll be glad to get rid of this claim and get those salvagers out of my headquarters. He left all his possessions to one of the other dead salvagers. Will I ever get rid of that damn Jedi garbage? Guess nobody gets them now. The administrator will have to figure out what happens to them. And until then, the salvagers are gonna keep bothering me.
I don't suppose you're here to hire us. It's been a long time. What if we do? They're practically...
Halt, settler. This is a restricted area. How the hell did you get through the Kinrath? You should leave. He's a Jedi Master? Well, the bounty's gonna be that much sweeter then. Nar Shaddaa is paying extremely well for Jedi, especially if they're alive. I'm gonna say this nice and simple for your little calf-hurting head. Unless you want to wind up dead, leave now. What? That's a Jedi trick! We trained against that during the war. It's a Jedi, man! Kill her before she tries something else!
Always rushing into action without thinking of the consequences. What? You're expecting thanks? Kunda is in danger, and you've ruined the best chance of averting a full-scale conflict. When an opponent believes that you are defeated, they no longer consider you a threat, and they relax their guard, become bold. After I was captured, they talked freely of their plans, enough for me to learn their intentions. I need to get to Kunda and warn them. They could be attacked at any moment. The mercenaries have allied themselves with the Exchange and are planning to attack Kunda. They've been holding off for the right moment. And now, since they lost their captive Jedi, they'll attack immediately. I'm going to try to reach Administrator Adare. Time is of the essence.
Everyone, on the guard!
You are the Jedi I've heard reports of, and I am Azkul, leader of the mercenaries on Dantooine. That is correct, and I want you to help me. According to my reports, I have 4 times as many soldiers as the militia, and I'm committed to taking Kunda. It is inevitable that I will succeed. If you wish to avoid my men eradicating the people of Dantooine, you will make it easier for me to take Kunda. Of course, I will pay well for your services. There are many ways someone with your abilities can aid us. Before the action begins, I have 2 main tasks in mind for you. Disable the gun turrets and the traps. Return to me when you are ready for us to begin our assault. I warn you not to keep me waiting.
What did I tell you?
I see you have found the elusive Master Vrook. He's told me that his rescue complicated our situation to some degree. I can't say that I anticipated that. I thank you for finding him, though. Vrook has informed me that the mercenaries devised a plan of attack to annihilate Kunda itself. I must ask for your aid again, Jedi. Zeron says that even with a plan, the mercenaries have to gather their forces, then coordinate their assault. So we still have time. I'm afraid the militia has not been adequately trained for the task that befalls them. Right now, just us and the militia. I don't want to create a needless panic. But be assured I will make sure that all civilians are warned in time so they can get to safety. Though if we lose this battle, nowhere on Dantooine will be safe for settlers for long. Our militia is effective at peacekeeping, but isn't prepared for a full-scale battle. If you can do anything to ready them for the reality of it, that would be helpful. Besides that, look around Kunda and see what you can do to strengthen our defenses. I know that we don't have the perimeter turrets online, and that alone could make a significant difference. Zeron says there is a considerable chance they will breach Kunda itself. Anything you can do to slow them down could turn the tide of battle. Here is a MasterCard key that will open all of the security doors inside Kunda. Anything that might aid you in your task, please use. Soon, all the civilians will be evacuated. So if you have any business with them, I suggest you take care of it. Whenever you are ready to finalize the defenses, talk with Zeron.
Thanks, stranger. I should be back to duty in no time. Thanks, stranger. The gun turret. Thanks, stranger. Thanks, stranger.
Zeron was right about the mercenaries all along. I guess my ego clouded my judgment as to what's best.
We've been told to provide you with anything you need. We have to keep the news of the mercenaries' plans quiet for now. Sorry, this door is blocked off.
You'll find little welcome.
Don't cause any more trouble for Dantooine. We've had enough.
Welcome back to Kunda. The things that would most
Do you require anything else? I have instructed the militia and other Kunda personnel that you are to be... Our militia is effective at... Besides, Zeron... Soon.
You heard what the administrator said. Each of us has to do what they can to aid in the defense of Kunda. See where you can lend a hand. We'll have time to talk more when this is all over.
Charanana gundoso remina que lorak de kurukatada. Charanana gundoso remina que lorak de kurukatada. Fioratora pada no ringatel camarada telefibo nubu de bitarana cenirara. Terewana jun konata della raguno antuna. Dai rinto runka rekare papanala ranchinga. Derace wemenoto torere senesensen. Der rinturunto wakare kwe wap gerebu. Ninso telepachan gorsada nane gra delonuta choloren. Terewana jun konata della raguno antuna. Dai rinturunka rekare papanala ranchinga. Derace wemenoto torere senesensen. Derin turunto wakare kwe wap gerebu. Nenso telepachan gorsada nane gra dalonuta choloren. Tere wana jun konata dela raguno tuna. Dai rinturun kawre kare papanara ranshinga. Derache wemenoto to rere senesenten. Derin turunto wakare kwe wap gerebu. Nenso
It may seem like a small act you did, but some things travel, and more good may come from it. I am honored to have seen a Jedi behave as a Jedi. It was not something I still expected to see in this galaxy. As you wish. Let us continue on then.
Trouble, but you might just be the right sort of trouble we need. The mercenaries aren't quick to mobilize, so you have time to do what you need. Or are you ready to finalize the defense plans? You sure? Once we're done with that, there may not be any time left before the mercenaries attack. All right, then we got a lot to do.
Since you are here to bolster Kunda's defense, I will hurry to the mercenary camp and delay their assault however I can.
I imagine that the mercenaries have got two goals in this whole thing. Kill me and kill the Administrator. The rest of the settlers won't have courage to resist if they succeed. The Administrator's locked up in her office tight, which means that the mercs have to go through us and Kunda's defenses. It isn't gonna be easy. I suspect we're gonna have to fight on the inside. They've got 3 entrances they're gonna try and break in. Here's the front door, the security door on the side, and the garage door in back. We got 3 squads of militia. We can assign people to the front, back, or inside. Backside has to guard 2 entrances. The front will have to fight more people, and the inside will have to deal with any that break through. So, where do you think the first squad should be deployed? The battles that had the least dying were always led by Jedi. I'm gonna go with what you think. Where do you want the second squad? Alright, where do you want the third squad, the new recruits? Fine by me. The last question is, where do you want to go? Either the front or the back. I'll take whichever one you don't. That way both sides have leadership. That's what I was thinking too. The main group of mercenaries will be coming through there. Probably be good to put our best soldier there. Once the fighting starts, you gotta stay in your area. We both have to guard our half of the battlefield. Come over to me and the mercs will just charge straight into Kunda. Thanks to you, they're gonna have a tougher job. That's about it. Now we just need to dig in and wait for the mercs to come. Well, I'll tell them what's there to do. I'm not much for words. All right, I'll assemble the men. I hope you can speak good. You're much better with words than me. I think it'll really help. Let's get ready for the mercenaries. If we fall here, all of Dantooine falls with us.
Tell me what you see, soldier.
They're mobilizing the militia. Looks like a lot of activity down there.
They've been warned. It won't be of any use. The plan doesn't change. Captains, prepare your men. Their leader, Administrator Tarina, must not survive the battle. Everything else is secondary to that objective.
We've lost too many soldiers. Fall back inside.
So you're the Jedi. I take it you are responsible for the surprises we've had during this battle. Stand aside. Our quarrel is with a distinguished administrator. This isn't your problem. Is that supposed to convince me, Jedi? I was trained by the Sith. My unit killed many Jedi. I'll give you one last chance. Leave the administrator to her fate. She's inconvenient and doesn't know the chain of command. She will pay for that. You have no idea who you're talking to. I was going to spare your worthless life. I see I was in error. I was trained at Malak's academy. Your tricks won't work on me. You're just another dead Jedi to me.
Sorry I was held up, but it looks like I've arrived in time to pull you out of your predicament.
Kill them all.
Thank you so much for your aid. You can be sure that Dantooine will not forget how the Jedi protected us from this threat. We are a humble community, and this conflict has greatly diminished our resources. I hope this reward will be sufficient. I am humbled by your generosity. I will put this to good use. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have much work to do. Dantooine will be slow to rebuild, but I am confident now that we will one day achieve prosperity.
Kunda is safe in no small part due to you. I feel certain that the Administrator wouldn't have made it without your assistance. I may have misjudged you. In any case, I am free to talk about whatever you wish. There are a few of us left, but I do not even know if the others still live. We may be the last. We've been forced to divide our forces and retreat to places which will be difficult for our enemies to detect and attack. We have chosen to hide our presences from each other, so that the discovery of one will not endanger the others. We cannot. And we have resolved not to until we have found where the Sith are striking from. But even as our numbers thin, there is still no trace of them. We had hoped to outmaneuver them. By letting them believe themselves victorious, we thought they would become bold and step from the shadows. Then, all of us who remained vowed to meet here on Dantooine. From here we can plan a course of action and carry the battle to them. But so far they remain in hiding, and Jedi continue to vanish and die. Nar Shaddaa? Why would he go there? It is good that you bring word of him, but you must not speak of it to others. It will only put him and any other Jedi who remain in danger. We cannot. And we have resolved not to until we have found where the Sith are striking from. But even as our numbers, we had hoped to... You have more questions for me? Because you defied the Council and followed Revan to war. And from that war came another, Do you know how many worlds were destroyed in those wars? Dantooine, Telos, Sirocco? Do you see now why we counseled caution instead of action? You were the only one to come back and face judgment. But that was because you had lost your connection to the Force. Another casualty of war. No doubt you still blame us for your exile. I had hoped your isolation would give you time to reflect on what had happened, what you had done. But I see it as not. You have more questions for me? We did nothing to you. Accuse us if you will, but it will not change the truth. Cutting one off from the Force. Such punishments are reserved for only a few. Although it was within our power, we did not inflict such a loss upon you. Your loss was a casualty of war, no more. Perhaps that is a question you should ask yourself. It is not something I could help you with, even if I wanted to. Perhaps it is Dantooine, but I do not feel such from you. I feel nothing but what I felt in the Council Judgment Chamber on Coruscant so long ago. Still, you and your connections were often a subject of debate in the Council. It is possible that returning to known space, journeying with others, has caused the Force to stir within you again. You have more questions for me? You have seen the end of your trial. Perhaps you would like to explain how you came to this knowledge. That was intended only for the Jedi Council. If what remains of the Council chooses to tell you, then I will abide by their decision and its consequences. There is little I can tell you. Master Kavar felt something had happened to you in the war, but all he had was suspicions, not truths. And Kavar was too close to you in any event. He, too, felt the call of war and took to battle more than a Jedi should. His speculations would not help you now, but enough of this. It is knowledge for the Council alone until they choose to reveal it. You have more questions for me? Force bonds? Yes. It is the bond that grows between master and student. Are you saying you have bonded with another? Such bonds normally grant strength to both, but not to such a degree. Are you certain? Perhaps it is merely what you believe. Still, your ability to form such connections, to influence others, was always a subject of discussion, even when you were a student here. Perhaps it is a punishment of a sort. But a bond that ties two lives together, such bonds do not seem natural to me. And with your loss of connection to the Force, it seems such a connection would be impossible. Perhaps it is Dantooine, but I do not feel such from you. I feel nothing but what I felt in the Council Judgment Chamber on Coruscant so long ago. Still, you and your connections were often a subject of debate in the Council. It is possible that returning to known space, journeying with others, has caused the Force to stir within you again. You have more questions for me? Have they? I've seen no evidence of them upon Dantooine. Only murderers and raiders. Why would they attack you? You are no Jedi. You cannot feel the Force. Perhaps it is Dantooine, but I do not feel such from you. I feel nothing but what I felt in the Council Judgment Chamber on Coruscant so long ago. Still, you and your connections were often a subject of debate in the Council. It is possible that returning to known space, journeying with others, has caused the Force to stir within you again. Though it seems unlikely the Sith would bother with you. For some reason, I believe you. Still, I am curious as to how they would know to find you. Your trial was not public knowledge. Regardless, these Sith have struck, and you survived. This is more knowledge than I had before. And that means the Jedi may gather. If you can find others, or find some trace of the Sith threat, then we shall gather here on Dantooine. And from there we may decide what can be done. You have more questions for me? I suppose there is something I should show you. It will keep you alive long enough to prove useful. Now watch and learn. This form is a Taru. Because it is such an aggressive fighting style, you should only use it against single opponents. And don't try using this form amidst heavy fire. Nothing is more embarrassing for a Jedi than to be cut down by a stray blaster shot. I don't know how you learned that so quickly. Still, your form is sloppy. Keep practicing to tighten it up and you'll be fine.
That was some intense fighting. I'm glad we both made it through, and the mercenaries didn't.
Diagnostic? For some reason, obvious statement. This was not anticipated. Alarmed.